with 52 clans battling it out who is the best mid-sized war clan. As bases get demolished as the update matures, can a clan achieve the perfect war? With congestion at the top of the table, who will win the battle for clan war supremacy? An epic video this period with 52 clans. That means we've had 14 clans come in and 1 clan go out. The reason why the group's expanding is we're seeing a couple of new great clans forming, and also I've added more clans just to flesh out the mid-sized war group. The background to this section is a replay from the 200th war win of Exodius. This is Ollie Gregg doing a really great example of a 3-point attack on a really common type of base. So watch that while you listen to the state of the game. No new update this period, but what's remarkable about this period is just the emergence of the haste spell. The haste spell has turned out to be a vicious spell. Earthquake for me is not so vicious, but poison that I talked about last time. But the haste spell seems that you use that in a combination with loons, and it can take out most buildings, and it's almost made the rage. You only use the rage when you've got to rage through a crossbow to the inferno or something like that, but generally haste spells will do the damage, and you can basically rage loons into a whiz tower, with the whiz tower basically doing barely any damage because the haste is so effective. So haste a great spell for knocking out buildings with lower hit points, and that's becoming the dominant spell in a lot of 3 stars in Clan Wars at the moment. In clan ranking news, a couple of changes, minor stuff in relation to the methodology. First thing I just want to mention is each period with a variable K factor, I normalise the group to an average of 1800 in terms of the scores. So if you try and reconcile the scores period to period, sometimes you won't see that exactly add up. The reason I've done that is by keeping the average score at 1800. What that does is it keeps the K factor constant as I add or remove clans from the group. The next thing I've done is I've just put in something where I was a bit concerned that top clans could lose lots of points if there was an ambush by a really low rank clan. So what I've done is, if a top clan does lose, but the top clan gets more than 25% of the bases 3-starred in a war, it's treated as a top of the table war, which means the K factor is 100, and that means, because the reality is, if there's an ambush and there's a lot of other clans behind the low level clan, it really is the top of the table war. And so what I've done for a point of view of fairness to the top clans is I put the K factor just like it's the top of the level, top of the table war. Okay, 52 clans this period. I'll just go through who's in and who's out. So first, right in the middle without the new sign, is Arabian Shield is in. Also 4 down from the right, Unity Air Force is new. Then working way across the top, you've got number 1, MIT, Winterfell, Storm, UAE, and Imaginatic, which is a French clan. And across the, you've got China Rush Rock, 3 rows from the bottom. Then across the bottom, we've got Hainan, Hoi, Zhu, Zhang, Zhao. Next across, we've got Sanju Tao. Next one across is Wu Meng. Next one across is Ya Zhao Ling Sheng. And finally, across the bottom is Kumu Long Ling. So lots and lots of new Chinese clans, a couple of Arabic clans, and even some Turkish clans. And I think there's a Taiwan clan also coming in. I think it's MIT. The clan dropped from the group is Maximus 2. They've lost a lot of players or hitters to other clans, so they're not putting in as many 3s at the moment, so I've taken them out of the group. 106 wars this period, so I'm going to power through the results and talk through sort of clan by clan. First, Shenzhou versus Kumu Longling, their first war in the group, 88 to 80, with more than 300 points difference, no points for either side. Next, Fuzi Xiaolin versus Lin Yong, again more than 300 points difference, no points for either side, 92-86. Then 300 versus a new clan, Sanju Tao joins the group with a 74-71 win over 300, 192 points for Sanju Tao. They're a good clan and start the group with a win. Next, Thailand Pro versus Indo Celestial, 83-81, no points change hands there. Next, Pen Shield versus Exodius Elite. Pen Shield with an awesome performance there in a 30s war, put on 11 3 stars, 55 points for them. Next, Getting Dark versus Hitmen in a 45s war. Getting Dark putting on lots of threes, 11 there versus Hit 11 to 3 on 3 stars, 101 to 93, no points change hands there. Next, Shenzhou versus Indo Celestial, you expect that result, 94-90, no points change hands. Unity Air Force joining the group versus Maximus 2. I took Maximus 2 out of the group after the round, so that Unity Air Force pick up some points, 63-60, 3-0 on the 3 stars, 80 points for Unity Air Force. Next, Exodius versus Shou Hu Yu Rong Yao. Exodius pull away with a win there, 97-91, 45 points for Exodius. Next, Artificero Stop versus Kumu Longling. Artificero Stop with a 73-71 win, 315 points for them, great win for them, and that will see them progress up the rankings. Next, Thailand Pro versus Wu Meng. Thailand Pro, look at that. This is a 50 versus 50 war, so this is a second 50 versus 50 war in the Elite Group history. You can see, look at that, 17 3 stars for Thailand Pro. They're a very dangerous clan, and with more than 300 points difference, no points for them. Next, In the Dark versus Medan 13, you'd expect that result, 88-83, no points change hands. Pen Shield 2 versus Indo Celestial, 89 points for Pen Shield 2 with a 4 3 stars to 0 win. Next, Arabian Shield versus Winterfell, and Winterfell enter the group with a win, 53-51 in a 25s war, 112 points for Winterfell. Next, KY3 versus Lin Yong, 76-73, so good win for Lin Yong, 44 points with a 6-3 win in a 35s war. Next, Shenzhou versus BR Brothers, 7 3 stars to 3 in a 40s war, 18 points to Shenzhou. Then we have Fangzhou Bizhao versus one of the new clans, an Arabic clan which I think translates to Suicide Bombers, 197 points for Suicide Bombers, 8 3 stars to 4 win. They look like a good clan, 8 3 stars, a great start in terms of entering the group. Next, you'd expect this result, China Rush 7 Zip versus CN1, no points change hands. Pen Shield versus MSK Team, 66-63, no points change hands. Next, Exodius Elite versus Zhao Xingfu, a 3-1 win. Exodius Elite really consistent this period, lots of tight wars, but they keep winning. No points change hands because more than 300 points difference. Next, Art of War versus Viet Blood. So Viet Blood are an improving clan, but you can see only put on 3 stars versus Art of War here. So it's 9-3, win to Art of War, you'd expect that, no points change hands. Then 300 versus Hao Nao Hao Zhu Zhang Zhao, 7 3 stars to 5 war there, 300 putting on some decent 3 stars, probably a bit inconsistent at the moment 300, but that's a good win for them, so 68 points to 300 for that win. Next, Ya Xiao Ling Sheng versus Sanju Tao, and Sanju Tao pull off another win, so that's in the 40s war, 3-2, 50 points to Sanju Tao. Then Getting Dark versus MKMA, look at this for an epic war, 45, so you've got 18 3 stars to 14, MKMA showing they can hit, and look at that, 38 points to MKMA, 18 3 stars, and the top clans are starting to really demolish bases. Next, Ways of War versus CN1, you'd expect this result, 50 points to Ways of War, 4 zip on the 3 stars. Then VN Champions versus Suicide Bombers, VN Champions win that, 6 zip on the 3 stars, so 76-70, no points change hands there. Then Legend Warriors versus China Rush in a 45s war, look at that for a war, 14 3 stars to 9, China Rush get away with the win there, 19 points for China Rush. Penshield 2 version of Imaginatic. So Imaginatic, a new French clan, they tend to run smaller wars, so this is a 30s war, so 6-4 on the 3s, but look, a good start for them, 4 3-stars entering the group, but a loss to Penshield, so Penshield 2, 119 points for Penshield 2. MIT, another new clan versus 300. Look at that in the 35s war. They put on 11 3-stars, so they've got some hitting power. 11-8 on the 3-stars. 300 still hitting well, but just running into clans that are hitting better. 114 points to MIT. Next, Viet Blood versus Utopia OP. Viet Blood, this is like the start of their improvement. So 35s war, they put on 5 3-stars here versus Utopia OP. 75-73, 119 points for Viet Blood. Next, In the Dark versus Hitmen. In the Dark, you'd expect to win that. 13 3-stars to 4, and no points change hands. Shenzhou versus VN Champions. Oh, look at this for just a clash of the Titans. Shenzhou hitting beautifully. 26 3-stars to 25. That is brutal. Bases falling everywhere. You know, blood all over the bases. Building smashed. Again, 26 3-stars to 25, as close as it comes. And 67 points to Shenzhou. Look at that hitting. So that's actually 58% of the bases 3-star by Shenzhou, 56% of the bases by VN Champions. That's just crazy. Next, Medan 13 versus Exodius. Exodius get up there, 5 3-stars to 3, and Exodius get away with 20 points for that win over Medan 13. Then Sanju Tao continuing to power away with some wins, more than 300 points ahead of 300, so that with a 5-0 win, no points for that. Next, Penshield versus Zhao Zhaozingfu, 7 3-stars to 3, and no points change hands for that win because there's more than 300 points difference. Next, Saigon by Night versus 300. So Saigon by Night, 25 points, get away actually with a really solid win there, 9 3-stars to 2. You expect that result, 25 points to Saigon by Night. Then Art of War versus Al Raza clan. Al Raza clan can be pretty dangerous sometimes. Not so dangerous in this war. 10 3-stars to 3. No points change hands there. Now, Fu Zi Zhao Lin, one of the powerhouse clans these days. 10 3-stars to 2 versus Hitmen. You expect that result. No points change hands. Farming Kings versus Artificer Stop. A tie. And 41 points for the upset tie to Artificer Stop. And 63 all. And so, you know, that will see a couple more points. So that's a two pretty good win, a good win and a good tie for that clan. Next, Medan 13 versus Exodius Elite. Exodius Elite, consistent as ever, 6 3-stars to 2, 60 points to Exodius Elite. Next, In the Dark versus Al Raza clan, 13 3-stars to 8, no points change hands. Saigon by Night versus VN Champions, 85-95 in a 35s war. So that, look at that, 25 3-stars to 15. So that is just brutal. But 32 points for VN Champions for that win. But that's just a crazy war in terms of bases falling. So VN Champions in that war have 3-starred 71% of the bases of Saigon by Night. Just brutal. Great hitting VN Champs. Next, China Rush versus Viet Blood. China Rush Rock. So they're another new clan to the group in a 30s war. So they put on 10 3-stars to 1 versus Viet Blood. Viet Blood have been inconsistent. You know, they were coming good. You said 3 3-stars, 5 3-stars. Now only 1 3-star versus China Rush Rock. And so they lose that. 183 points to China Rush Rock. A lot of points go to them. Great start for them in the group. And that'll see Viet Blood come down a bit after 2 good wins and a loss. Actually, after a good start for Viet Blood. Next, Fairest Arms versus Indo Eternity. Fairest Arms starting to put on some 3s. That's nice to see. 6 3-stars to Zip versus Indo Eternity. 135 points to Fairest Arms. Now, MKMA versus Hano Hoju Zhang Zhao. 9 3-stars to Valen to clear the bases. No points change hands there. MIT versus Artificer Stop. You've got a 35s war there, 10 3-stars to 0. MIT continuing to smash bases, 104 points for MIT, going very well in terms of their entry to the group. Next, Exodius Elite, consistent as ever, 1 3-star win. Don't have to win by much to get the points, but they've got the points, 45 points for them with a 6-5 win versus Utopia OP. Next, median 13 versus Yazhao Ling Sheng, 76-74, 92 points change hands to median 13. Next, Viet Blood, putting on some threes again, 5 3 stars to 1, 54 points to them, beating MSK team. Getting Dark versus Indo Eternity. Getting Dark hitting well here, 14 3 stars to Indo Eternity, failing to clear the bases, no points change hands. Now, a brutal war. Now, this is actually what made me think about, whether I should provide some protections for some of the big clans. But Ways of War, you can see here, put on 25 3 stars. So, considering they're a bit down the table, that's a pretty good performance for them. But In the Dark put on 34. So, just an amazing result for In the Dark. 76% of Ways of War bases were 3'd. So, that's just incredible hitting. And no points change hands there, but that's what actually made me put in the protection for the top level clans, because that clearly is the top of the table war when you've got 34 3 stars versus 25. It seems to me that should be treated like a top of the table war, and so that's where the new rule came in. Next, Shenzhou versus Al Raza clan, 45's war, 5-3, and no points change hands there. BR Brothers versus KY3, 4-3, no points change hands. MKMA versus Indo Eternity, you expect this result, 8-zip, no points change hands. Saigon by Night versus Shanju Tao, and now look at this for an upset. It's a 40s war, 14 3 stars to 10. Shanju Tao obviously can hit, 63 points for them, but the fact that they can knock off a clan like Saigon by Night, that means they're very, very dangerous. Watch out for them if you match them. Next, Exodus Elite, consistent as ever, fighting Ku Mu Long Ling, 4-2 on the threes, so they get away in a 30s war with another win, no points change hands. Next, MIT versus Yazhao Ling Cheng, no points change hands there with a 4-3 win to MIT. Bit down on the 3 stars, but I guess you've only got to win the war by 1, not to lose the points. Next, Medan 13 versus Unity Air Force. Now look at that 35s war, a lot of 3s there. 8-7 on the 3s. Unity Air Force enter the group with 105 points with a win over Medan 13. Then Ways of War versus MSK team, you'd expect that, 43 points to them with a 6-0 win. In the 35's war. Next, Exodus versus KY3, 6-1 win, you'd expect that, no points change hands. Arabian Shield, their first war in the group, 5-3 stars. You can see why these clans are getting in there. Clearly capable of throwing quite a lot of bases. So a 5-2 win over Zhao Fu. So 65-62, and they get 139 points for that win. Great start to the group. Next, VN Champions run up against the new form clan in the group. You expect them to win. They're a very good clan. So 8-5 win for them versus Shanju Tao, and 21 points for VN Champions. Shanju Tao had actually got within 300 points of VN Champions. It just shows you how well they'd been going. Next, Exodus Elite versus Farming Kings. Exodus Elite consistent as ever, 51 points for that win, 3-1 versus Farming Kings. Next, Ferris Arms versus China Rush. There you've got an 8-1 win for China Rush. You expect that result, no points change hands. Saigon by Night versus Medan 13. 30 points to Saigon by Night with a 8-4 win. Next, Shenzhou versus Fangzhou Bizhao. So there's the second elite war for the period for Fangzhou Bizhao. Warring 25, so I'm not sure what was happening to Shenzhou there. Maybe they were trying to take a holiday and then ran into an elite clan. But with that win, they put on 16 3 stars to 3, hitting pretty well. They're a dangerous clan. Probably haven't fought enough elite wars in this period, but when they've fought them really well. And next, China Rush Rock versus Indo Celestial, 7 3 stars to zip, and no points change hands there. Next, Fuzi Zhaolin. So Fuzi, great clan, warring 40s, 8 3 stars to 0. You expect that result, no points change hands. Shanju Tao, warring again, another win for them. Warring really well. The only loss so far is the VN Champions, and they're a hard clan to knock off. Warring 35s, 4 zip versus Zhao Fu. No points change hands. Ways of War versus Hitmen, 7-2, 89 points to Ways of War. Al Raza clan versus China Rush. Look at this. Now this is a 45s war. Here we have 23 3 stars to 22. So that's 51% of the bases 3-starred to 49. So that's treated like a top of the table war with a K factor of 100. You can see our Araza clan with that upset get 95 points, but that is a great example of where this new rule kicks in, where that's clearly a top of the table war, so the K factor is 100. Next, Legend Warriors versus Xiao Hu Yu Rong Yao, which I think means defend and honor. And you can see Legend Warriors, very good clan, 17 3-stars to 1. A huge win, 3-starring 38% of the bases. A very, very good clan, 81 points to them. Next, Shenjing, the Feng Chan family clan, warring 35s versus Zhao Zhao Fu. 8 tie, 75 all, 118 points to Zhao Fu for the upset tie. Then Pen Shield versus China Rush Rock. China Rush Rock, very good clan, but so are Pen Shield. You expect them to get away with that win. 16 3-stars to 9, so they're hitting extremely well. 22 points for Pen Shield. Next, Suicide Bombers versus Hainai Hao Zhu Zhang Zhao, and you can look at that, a real upset there. And 7 3-stars to 0, 240 points to the new entrant to the both new entrants, but 242 points to the 40 points to the Chinese clan. Great win for them. Next, Sanju Tao versus Indo Eternity. You expect that result, 6-0, and no points change hands there. Utopia OP versus the Al Raza clan. Al Raza clan, very, very good clan, and look at that, 16 3-stars to 3. Great result for them, 93 points. Then Viet Blood transformed from a clan that's been getting 3 to 5 3-stars and suddenly put on 16 3-stars. So miraculous transformation. Beat Exodus 16 3-stars to 14. That's treated as a top of the table war with 35 and 40% of the bases 3-starred respectively. So the K equals 100 and 82 points for Viet Blood for that upset win. Great win to Viet Blood. And great improvement, nice to see them suddenly putting on so many 3s. Next, Pen Shield 2 versus MSK team, 5-3, no points change hands. Next, In the Dark versus Ferris the Arms. Expect that win, 11 3-stars to 1, no points change hands. Artificial Stop versus Getting Dark, there you've got a 40s war, so 16 3-stars to 4, no points change hands. MKMA versus China Rush, look at this for an upset. Again, top of the table war, 100 points. You've got 44% of the bases 3-starred to 47%. China Rush get away with a 1 3-star win, 21 3-stars to 20, and 76 points to China Rush from MKMA for that win. Great result for China Rush. Next, Farming Kings versus Arabian Shield. Arabian Shield with a 3-1 win, 133 points. Then VN Champions versus MIT. Now, look at that. VN Champions 17 3-stars to 10. VN Champions, incredible hitting power. More than 300 points in front, so no points for that win. Then Saigon by Night versus Unity Air Force. You'd expect them to win this. You'd probably expect Saigon by Night to put on more 3s than that. But, 7 3-stars to 6. Get away with the points. 55 points for the win. Then you've got Hitmen versus Hainan Haizhu Zhao Zhang Zhao, 52 points for Hainan, 7 3-stars to 5. You can see they're coming good, and this is why they're in the group. They came good throughout the period and started putting on lots of 3s. And when you're warring and putting on 7 3s versus really good bases, that's why you're in the elite group. 52 points for them. So Fuzi Xiaolin versus First Arms. You expect that win, 11 3-stars to 2, and no points change hands. Medan 13 versus Indo Celestial, 5-1. So no points change hands, Medium 13, get away with a win there. Saigon by Night versus China Rush Rock. Now what's going on here? So 12 3-stars all, China Rush Rock improving and improving with that upset tie, 25 points for China Rush Rock. Next, Xiao Hu Yu Rong Yao versus Indo Eternity. You expect this win, 8 3-stars to 0 and 44 points to Xiao Hu for that win. Next, Pen Shield versus Hitmen. Pen Shield, you expect them to win that, 8-5, and no points change hands. Shen Zhao versus Viet Blood in a 40s war, 15 3-stars to 12, 16 points to Shenzhou for that win, continuing to hit well and winning all the elite wars they're fighting. Next, MKMA versus Art of War. Look at that for a Clash of the Titans, a 45s war. So what's that? That is 27 3-stars to 20. Incredible war for them. So they've 3-starred 60% of Art of War's bases there. Being a top of the table war, the K factor will be 100, so 50 points to MKMA for that. So they basically regain most of the points they lost in the China Rush War by beating Art of War a bit later. Next, you've got 300 versus Storm UAE. Storm UAE, this is their first elite war. They're look like pretty much a cup clan, but put on 7 3-stars to 6. Putting on 7 3-stars, I thought that's enough to get them in the elite group. 127 points for them. Next, Fuzi Shaolin versus China Rush. Another huge war. Look at that. 27 3-stars to 23. Absolutely brutal. Bases dead everywhere. 60% of bases 3-starred by Fuzi. 51 by China Rush. Incredible hitting. And 44 points for Fuzi for that win over China Rush. Next, Getting Dark versus Shouhu Yu Rong Yao. No points change hands. You'd expect that with a 10 3-stars to 5 win. Next, Farming Kings versus Zadao Zazingfu, and look at that, with that upset win, 306 points to that clan, with a 4-0 win versus Farming Kings. That pushes Farming Kings down the table. Good win for them. Next, Unity Air Force versus Number One. Number One, a clan I hadn't seen before, but look at that, 8 3-stars to 7. That's enough to get you in the group. 96 points for them. BR Brothers versus Ya Zhao Ling Cheng. And there we've got Ya Zhao putting on 7-1 on 3-stars. That'll get you in the group. 305 points for that win, with a war being low down the table, so the K factor is pretty high. Next, Ways of War versus Sanju Tao. Ways of War getting away with a win over what is a very good clan, so 16 3-stars to 13. Shows you how good Sanju Tao are. But also Ways of War hitting really well, continuing to move up the table. 61 points for them. Next, Saigon by Night versus Lin Yung. Saigon by Night getting some hitting power back. 10 3-stars to 4 and 34 points for that win. China Rush Rock versus Fengzhou Bi Zhao. China Rush Rock hitting really well. 9 3-stars to 3. 89 points for that win. Then now, look, talk about one of the great rivalries of the game. In the Dark versus Art of War, coming up to, you just expect bases falling everywhere here. And look at this. This is just crazy. How close can their clan get to the perfect score? This is the hitting performance of the round by Art of War. That is a 35s war. So what you have there is, in the 35s war, you've got 24 3-stars to 31. So they've 3-starred, Art of War have 3-starred 31 of 31 bases. That is 89% of bases 3-starred. It's as close to the perfect war as we've ever seen in an elite war. That is the hitting performance of the round. Congratulations to Art of War. That is just crazy stuff. 89% of bases 3-starred. Just shows you, as the update matures, bases are getting smashed left, right and centre. And if you spend the time, learning the new attack styles and this type of thing, you can just 3-star almost any base. Next, Shenzhou versus Indo Eternity. Shenzhou with a 9-0 win. No points for them for that win. You'd expect that win. Next, KY3 versus Lin Yung. Lin Yung 7-3 with a win over KY3. 34 points to them. And finally, to wrap up the round, China Rush versus Shouhu Yu Rong Yao. Defend and Honor. 10 3-stars to 2 win for China Rush. No points change hands. Okay, I'm going to continue with the countdown format, which I like just to keep the suspense. So don't skip ahead. See where your clan is as we go through the rankings. So now just a heads up for the clans towards the bottom of this group. I'm probably going to drop some clans next time. The clans that aren't consistently 3-starring other clans probably get dropped. That might be 5 or 6 clans, so if you're down the bottom of the list, you are at risk in terms of the elite group, so try and put on some 3s next period. Okay, now number 46 we have Indo Celestial. Number 45, Kumu Longling, a new clan to the group. Number 4, one of the clans that used to be huge, but Farming Kings. Number 3, KY43 is KY3. Number 42, CN1. Number 41, Indo Eternity. And rounding out the top 40, so you've got Shenjing, the Feng family clan. Number 39, MSK team. Number 38, the Brazilian clan BR Brothers. Number 37, surprising to see them there, 300, putting on a lot of 3s but still getting tough matchups, losing some big wars, but they're down to number 37. Number 36, Hitmen. Number 35, Utopia OP. Number 34, one of the new clans to the group, which translates to a Middle Eastern clan, Suicide Bombers. Number 33, Medan 13. Number 32, I think this is Spanish, I'm not really sure the origin, but it's Artificial Stop. Number 31, new clan to the group, Unity Air Force. And rounding out at number 30, Fangzhou Bizhao. Now, number 29, a French clan, Frères d'Armes. Number 28, Shouhu Yu Rongyao, which translates to Defend and Honor. Number 27, Pen Shield 2. Number 26, Zhao Zhaozing Fu, with some really good results this period. They are starting to travel well. Number 25, another Fengchan family clan, Lin Yung. Number 24, Middle Eastern clan, Arabian Shield. Number 23, Al Raza clan. Number 22, Yazhu Ling Cheng. Another new clan to the group. And number 21, Viet Blood. Look, Viet Blood have had some one or two huge wins, but inconsistent. They've had some losses as well, so that's what sees them at number 21. And rounding out at number 20 is Daomin. Now, now they haven't had many elite wars. I'm going to have to have a look. I couldn't get the log this period. I'm going to have to have a closer look at them, see what sort of types of wars they're running, because they're not showing up in the other elite logs. Number 19, the Taiwan clan, MIT-TM. Number 18, a great start for them in terms of the group, Sanju Tao, clan that can put a lot of 3 stars, very, very dangerous. Number 17, a clan that's coming really good, starting to put on some really good scores, Hainan Ho Zhu Zhang Jiao. Number 16, very dangerous clan, putting on some huge wars, ways of war. I expect to see them move further up the table next period. Number 15, China Rush Rock, great start for them in terms of the group, very, very dangerous clan, obviously part of the China Rush family, watch out for them. Number 14, Legend Warriors. Number 13, Exodius. Number 12, Thailand Pro. Number 11, Saigon by Night. And now we're getting to the top 10. So number 10, a consistent clan as ever. Great to see it. Exodius Elite. Number 9, Peninsula Shield. The top cup clan in the world. Incredible that they can be the top cup clan in the world and do so well in clan wars. Congratulations to them. Number 8, China Rush. Number 7, Getting Dark. Number 6, following the brutal war versus Art of War, with the loss there, that will see them into number 6, In the Dark. Number 5, top 5 hotly contested. Number 5, probably not done enough elite wars this period. They're warring really well. Number 5 is Shenzhou. Number 4, with their hitting performance of the round, I think it was 79%, a basis 3-star or something ridiculous. Art of War, what a great hitting performance from them. Very, very dangerous clan. All these clans at the top are just freakish. And they're at number 4. Now number 3. I just want to touch on the top 3 clans have all been number 1 at various points of the month. So they're all right top of the world. They're fighting it out, and the lead's changing frequently. But number 3, as at the 28th of August, is VN Champions, which means that number 2 and number 1. So number 2, a brilliant clan, very, very dangerous, is Fuzi Zhaolin, which means the number 1 clan as at 28th of August is MKMA. Congratulations to MKMA. All 3 of those clans, VN Champions, Fuzi Zhaolin and MKMA, all have been number 1 throughout the period. MKMA is number 1 as at 28th of August. I just want to touch on, straight after the ranking period, MKMA clashed with Fuzi, and Fuzi won that war. So Fuzi will be number 1 starting the next period, but MKMA were number 1 as at 28th of August. Starting the next period, the number 1 is Fuzi. So congratulations to VN champions Fuzi and MKMA for all being number 1 during this period. MKMA number 1 as at 28th of August. Congrats to them, and congratulations to Fuzi, the new number 1, commencing the period for their win over MKMA. So a quick look at the points table, ranked 26 to 46. Just want to touch on the clans at 41 to 46. Probably not putting up on enough 3 stars, so I'm going to trim the group. So if the bottom 5 need to put on some 3 stars next period, probably otherwise they'll probably come out of the group. The big surprise in this group, the 26 to 46 range, is 300. Look, they're still putting on quite a few 3 stars. I think they continue to have tough matchups. They're a good clan. I expect to see them bounce back, and hopefully they will move back into at least the top 20. They're a very good clan, and love to see them start hitting well again. Now ranks 11 to 25, look, lots of clans putting on lots of 3 stars here. You can see at number 18 we've got New Chinese Clan, you've got MIT, Viet Blood, very dangerous clan, Legend Warriors, Exodius, Thailand Pro, Saigon by Night, all really dangerous clans, Ways of War, China Rush Rock, all really dangerous clans. It just shows you how strong clan wars are at the moment in this group. Just some exceptional clans, and it's really hard fought there. I just want to touch on, in terms of mid-sized wars, like I said, who is the best mid-sized war clan in the world? Well, China Rush Rock is number 2 in terms of the mid-sized war clans. And the actual best mid-size war clan in the world has actually made it into the top 10. Now looking at the top 10, so in number 10 was Exodius Elite. Now they are actually the number 1 mid-sized war clan in the world. Congratulations to them. They've just been, the most consistent clan of the mid-sized war clans. They're just winning all these wars just by 1 and 2, 3 stars. But that's all you've got to do in a matchup-based system. Keep winning, never lose, and you gain points. And so Exodius Elite, congratulations to them. They are the number 1 mid-sized war clan in the world at the moment. And then the rest of the top 10 are actually doing larger wars. Pen Shield, Awesome Clan, China Rush, Getting Dark, In the Dark, Shenzhou. It surprised me that number 5, but look, I just think they haven't done enough of the huge wars this period to be higher. But when they have been hitting, they've been hitting really well. Art of War, some wins and losses, but Art of War, just that phenomenal performance versus In the Dark. Scary clan. And then each of the top 3 have been number 1 at various stages of this period. So really the top of the table is just brutal and being fought out just incredibly. VN Champions, I think, was number 1 twice this period. Fuzi was number 1 once, but they won after the period, and so with a new number 1 commencing the next period. And MKMA, again, number 1 twice this period. And look, what happened there is that they lost to China Rush by 1 in that, or it's at 26 to 25 3 stars war, and lost 70 points for that. But they gained most of the points back by beating Art of War, and that's what got them back into number 1. And so deservedly at number 1, but then Fuzi after the round came in and knocked off MKMA. So look, it's brutal up there. The lead keeps changing, lots of huge scores, and look, the top 6 clans are just beasts. So congratulations to MKMA for being number 1 at 28th of August. Congratulations to VN Champs, Fuzi and MKMA for each holding top spot throughout the round at various stages. And just, it's brutal in clan wars at the moment. We're seeing more and more 3 stars. Look, maybe we'll even see a perfect score, but it's highly contested. Thanks for watching another one of these videos. The clan wars at the moment as good as they've ever been. Highly contested, highly fought, lots of clans 3 starring, and I think we'll see more and more 3 stars into the next period.